It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Citi Prime News. My name is Zoe Abubeiduado, and I'm here with
Charles Owusu-Kumi.
The news is live from our studio at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. Coming up, Occupy BOG protest gains momentum as NDC minority group in Parliament and allied groups demand resignation of Central Bank Governor and deputies.
If you allow a security zone to be a haven for criminals, we have the right to declare that security zone a crime scene.
Still ahead, protests erupt in suburbs of Ashaiman over deplorable roads as residents demand urgent repair.
People of Ashaiman, we are paying for our property rate and all those stuff. We don't need to beg the government to do our roads, you understand? Because we have been paying all this money. The MP there they talk, I don't know what they talk for them.
Also coming up, 35-year-old convicted by the Wa Circuit Court for defiling 10 minors receives 71-year prison sentence. And later, Eastern Regional Office of the Electoral Commission organizes a mop-up registration exercise in 18 districts for applicants who were not attended to during the 3 weeks window.
The exercise ended yesterday, but there were people in the queue, so the commission decided to roll them over to the 3rd of October, which is today. So some districts are concluding on the registration with applicants who couldn't go through successfully yesterday.
This news is also live on our partner stations across the country. In the Western region, Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade, Bunu region, Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani, Ashanti region, Focus 94.3 FM, and Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi, Volta region, Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu, Northern region, Radio Bimbela 91.9 FM, Upper East, Tanga 93.7 FM in Bolga, Upper West, Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa, and Jirapa 96.1 FM. We are also live across the globe on citinewsroom.com, also on CityTube on YouTube, as well as Facebook.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
We're grateful for your time this afternoon. Now, the organizers of the hashtag Occupy BOG protest have served notice that they will hold countless protests if the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, and his deputies refuse to step down. They made this known at the ongoing protest organized by the minority MPs and some other groups over what they describe as mismanagement of the central bank. Let's now go onto the phone lines and speak to my colleague Hansen Ajuman, who is with the protesters now. Good afternoon, Hansen. If you can hear me, a few minutes ago, we could hear you as you walk through the principal streets of Adabraka. Are you nearing your destination?
Well, we are now on the Adabraka stretch, and so perhaps we are just about 25% into our destination. But there's quite a huge crowd, I must say. The very first person has taken a left turn heading towards the National Data traffic light. And then the last person is just some few meters away from the GC Bank. And so that should tell you the level of participation this Occupy BOG protest has gotten from NDC supporters, sympathizers, and arguably the general public.
All right. Hansen, we know that some minority MPs are there. You've been speaking to some of them. Please hold on whilst I play this report that you filed earlier and some of the key personalities you spoke to.
Protesters began massing up at the Obra spot at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle interchange as early as 6 a.m. Clad in red and black attires, the protesters came with the aim of pressuring Dr. Ernest Addison, who is the governor of the Bank of Ghana, and his deputies to resign. The leaders of the central bank are accused of gross mismanagement of the central bank. The protesters cite the over 60 billion Ghana cedis loss by the central bank as basis for their call for the resignation of the governors of the Bank of Ghana. They also accuse the governors of reckless expenditure, including the new Bank of Ghana head office construction. The protest is organized by the NDC minority group in Parliament, Arise Ghana, and some other groups. Present at the protest are some members of Parliament, including Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, Mahama Ayariga, Francis Xavier Sosu, Cletus Avoka, Clement Park, and Kwabena Minta Akando. Some of the MPs spoke to City News on basis for their call.
Unbelievable levels of recklessness, corruption, and total mismanagement. How can a head office project, which starts at $81 million, I intercepted documents from the central bank, which reveals that they were given PPA approval of $81 million. In less than 8 months, they varied the project to $121 million. And as we speak, that project is worth about $300 million when you add the cost of land, which is another scandal altogether. Land under litigation that they had no business going to really encumber. So we are talking about a governor who has no sense of respect, of discipline, and of good conduct.
We are expecting the governor of Bank of Ghana to make himself available. In fact, if he like, he can come here. We will give him the petition here, we will not go anywhere.
If he comes here,
we will give him the petition here. But if he hides, this morning, he issued a letter, a notice to all the bank staff not to come to work. A unilateral decision. They'll be paid for not doing the work. And then he's going to lie that he's not around. We know he's in town. We never said we want to enter the Bank of Ghana premises. We just said that we'll go close enough. The police have tried to frustrate us. Just yesterday, they were pretending that we said we are going to stop at the national location. I was there at the meeting. We never said that. The police can say anything they like. But we are on a peaceful demonstration. They shouldn't try to harass anybody.
Of the financial institutions 2-3 years ago has affected many Ghanaians, job losses, and the people have lost their finances. 2, by lending the government so much money has affected the term of the city, and that is why the economy is so bad. That is why we want the governor to go.
Now, we are told that you are supposed to submit your petition at the Blacks Square, but the party is insisting they want to submit it at the Bank of Ghana, and the police is not happy about it because it's supposed to be a security zone. What is your thoughts on around that? Are you still going to submit it at the Bank of Ghana, and don't you think it has implications on security?
We are very, very peaceful. We are responsible people in the country. We are members of parliament. We are leading this demonstration. So there will be no violence. We just want to get near the presence of the Bank of Ghana and let an official of the Bank of Ghana come and receive the petition. We are not going to cause any mayhem.
The protest has also been well attended by national executives of the National Democratic Congress. The party's chairman, Johnson Asidin Kitia, addressed the protesters at the early hours of the protest.
Sir, Yadani Bank of Ghana, at the Yabiaya, Akramfo, Akobo Kankwa, Womudi Omana Wua. You declare a crime scene. In other words, if you allow a security zone to be a haven for criminals, we have the right to declare that security zone a crime scene. And we will go there and charge the criminals. Ya declare a manipa, ya dia juma manu sa onya oseno, na ye jira ya ho chire yan. Ya declare a koshanensa. Sa ya ntutuo, ya ntwejai, ni asi nipa oseye so. Ya declare a keke, e koshanensa, na ose ho ye security zone la. And ya ubeti tiyenya.
The protesters are moving from Obrasport through Adabraka, Ridge Runabout, National Theatre Traffic Light, High Court Complex Traffic Light to the Atamils High Street, make a U-turn at the National Lottery Traffic Light, and end the protest at the Independence Square. Minority leader Kesa Osakarba insists that the leaders will have to request access to the premises of the Bank of Ghana to present their petition.
So that was Hansen Ajiman's report. He's still on the line to tell us more. Hansen, so have they agreed on where they are going to present their petition? We know the police agreed with them that they are supposed to present it at the Independence Square. And this morning they are saying something else. What is the agreed decision now?
Well, we've not had the opportunity to speak to the police, but it appears the protesters have a different plan in mind aside from what the police is working with. So the first issue of difference here is that per the police's route, they are supposed to make a U-turn at the traffic light at the National Lottery Authority. However, from yesterday to today, we had people who are part of the organizers and key members of the NGC say that they would rather make the turn at the traffic light, which is at the Supreme Court. Now, if you look at that route, the Supreme Court is about 130 meters away from the National Lotteries Authority. And so by this first issue, they are seeking to extend the length at which they will go close to the Bank of Ghana by some 100 meters. Aside this U-turn, the police are hoping that these protesters will present their petition to a designated officer at the Independence Square. But what we are getting from the minority leader is that they seek to select some of the leaders to go to the premises of the Bank of Ghana to make this presentation. And they are insisting that they will do this presentation only to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, that is Dr. Ernest Addison. And that if they do not see Dr. Ernest Addison, they are not going to leave the premises of the Bank of Ghana, nor will they leave the Independence Square, where most of the protests will be at the end of the demonstration.
Thank you very much, Hansen, for that report. But before you go, briefly tell us about the security situation.
Well, it's been okay so far. The police, as they indicated yesterday, have adequately deployed personnel as well as logistics. And we can see some persons who look like internal security for the NDC itself, but the police appear to be working hand in hand with them. For instance, when it comes to protecting the leaders, there's a human wall that separates everybody of about 15 meters away from the leadership, and you have a mixture of plainclothes men where they've written at the back of their shirt protocol to suggest protocol officers. And you also see police officers with them preventing anybody who wants to come close to the leaders of the protest. And so I must say that the protest so far has been peaceful. The security is on top since we've not had any untoward situation.
Thank you very much. That was Hansen Ajiman reporting from the Occupy BOG protest. We'll still stay with protests, this time to suburbs of Ashaiman, specifically Zenu, New York, and Atadika, where residents there this morning took a stand against the deplorable condition of their roads. The frustrated residents blocked the roads, leaving drivers and commuters stranded in the heart of the protest. Their collective demand is for the urgent repair and rehabilitation of all community roads. Some of the protesters voiced their grievances.
This is not the time to speak jargon and big English. The road no good. Our MP is very weak. Our DC is very weak. There be bunch of failures. Too bad. What did you see when you came here? What did you see? You can't want to see.
The truth is the one. You understand? Since we have an MP here and the people of Ashaiman, we are paying for our property rate and all those stuff. We don't need to beg the government to do our roads. You understand? Because we have been paying all this money. The MP there they talk. I don't know what they talk for there. But Hassan say he don't know about the road for Ashama and all 22 annex, Committee 22 annex. The road that they started talk to you right now, the road be like Maho. No car they go, no car they come. My car so I park them for house. I don't know to use them. So as the MP say, is he aware about our road? I don't know. If you know, if you tell the government, make the work on our road. But we don't joke so. We are all paying for property rate. You understand?
So those were some residents of Ashaiman protesting about the bad nature of their road. Now the coalition of the Ashaiman residents has issued a 2-month ultimatum to the government demanding the commencement of rehabilitation works on all Ashaiman all roads in Ashaiman, submitting a petition on behalf of the residents to the Chief Executive Officer of Ashaiman, Albert Boachi Otre, the assemblyman for the Ni Community Electoral Area, Freeman Chepo. The residents' intention to picket at the Ministry of Roads and Highways if rehabilitation works do not begin in the next 2 months.
We cannot sit idle on our roads to keep killing us, destroying our businesses, reducing the lifespan of our vehicles, robbing us of our income in our businesses, and inflicting many serious health conditions on us. We ask as a matter of urgency for the government to instruct all contractors that have been awarded contracts on road contracts in Ashaiman municipality to come to site and work on fixing our roads. We demand that the following major sections of the roads be fixed immediately. The first road, Ashaiman Municipal Assembly Traffic Light to Presby Junction section of the Ashaiman Ajay-Kojo Main Road. 2. The main market to Lebanon section of the Ashaiman Overhead to Zainu Road. Ashaiman Newtown Junction to Afariwa Junction Road. And Community 22 to Lebanon Inner Roads. If within 2 calendar months, we do not see any action of works within the community or the municipality, we will organize another march. This time, we will march to the ministry and picket at the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
You heard the assemblyman for the Ni Community Electoral Area, Freeman Chepo. Let's now hear from the Member of Parliament for Ashaiman, Ernest Nogbe, who expressed concern over the government's deliberate decision to deny the residents of Ashaiman access to quality roads.
We have fought, myself and the Chief Executive, we have fought for the government to draw the government's attention to the bad nature of our roads. We attended meetings together on our roads, but unfortunately, the government, the central government, refused to heed to our plight. And that is why today's demonstration is very important to the people of Ashaiman. And so, as I said earlier, it is for the government to fix our roads. We are saying enough is enough. All of us use the same road.
That was a Member of Parliament for Ashaiman, Ernest Nogbe. Kennedy Chumesi followed that demonstration or protest this morning. He joins me on the phone lines. Good afternoon, Kennedy. Now, if you can hear me, what was the response after presenting this petition?
So the response by the municipal chief executive of the Ashaiman Assembly in the person of
Kennedy, if you can reposition yourself, your voice is a bit muffled. Hello, Kennedy. Yes, please. Yes, please. Please speak up.
Yeah. So I'm saying that after submitting a petition to the Assembly, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ashaiman Assembly, in the person of Albert Boachi Otre, received the petition and indicated that the concerns have been heard and efforts have been put in place in order to get the road fixed. But as I speak to you, the process has come to an end and it's submitted at the Ashaiman Municipal Assembly. For them, they are tired of the deplorable condition of their roads, which has become a major source of frustration and inconvenience for them in the community. Prior to this demonstration, I visited the community days before, and I can confirm that most of their roads are bad. And according to the residents, potholes have turned into manholes, making their daily commute a nightmare, especially at night. They revealed that successive governments have been unfair to them, and indicating that Ashama has over a total of 156 kilometers network of roads. And as we speak, according to the residents, only 28 kilometers, representing 17%, are paved. And even out of the 28 kilometers, only 2.7 kilometers, which represents 9.5%, can be said to be of good roads. Clearly, to them, they deserve better, they pay taxes, they pay subsidies, and governments must come to their aid in fixing the roads. In the morning, the protest started from the Ashaman Big Baller Junction throughout the principal street of Ashaman. On their way to the municipal assembly, something happened. They stopped at the Ashaman main traffic light, hoping to use a route that goes to Ashaman, Lebanon. They explained that the explanation that they gave was that the roads there are really deplorable, and that they would want to highlight that specifically. But the police did not agree because that route was not part of the plan route they agreed on before. So this led to a gridlock at the that particular traffic light for an hour, celebrating and trying to convince the police that they would want to use that stretch. But unfortunately, the police did not allow. Force peace was maintained, and they moved to the municipal assembly. The protesters were not armed. They were just angry that the roads are in poor shape. They held banners. They also held placards that indicated that fix our roads, we deserve better, and the others. The atmosphere was good. It was sad. The protesters were determined to make known the state of the road there at Ashaman. And even due to the protest, it drew the attention of bystanders and then shopkeepers who were selling, and they had to stop and then join in solidarity with these protesters to ensure that their roads are fixed.
All right, thank you very much. And that was Kennedy Chumesi bringing us a report from Ashaiman. You're still listening to Citi Prime News. Stories we've been bringing you so far. Occupy BOG protest gains momentum as NDC minority group in Parliament and allied groups demand resignation of Central Bank Governor and Deputy. Still ahead, while Circuit Court convicts 35-year-old man who defiled 10 minors and sentences him to 71 years in prison. We'll bring you details of this story and others shortly. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Isn't it amazing how something as simple as clean hands can change the world around us? Let's take a moment to appreciate the power of clean hands. Imagine the possibilities when you keep your hands clean. Allow me to remind you of some 5 instances when clean hands can make all the difference. Before indulging in your favorite banku, gobe or wache, after a visit to the restroom, while caring for a loved one who needs your support, right after you sneezed, coughed, or handled a tissue, and every time you touch public surfaces. Think about it. Clean hands mean our children can go to school without worries, our hospitals can provide top-notch care, and our workplaces can thrive. These moments might seem trivial, but they keep you and those around you safe and healthy. This message is brought to you by WaterAid Ghana. Follow us on social media for more tips on hand hygiene.
Ajwapa, what's all this condom business? Oh, I've told her over and over again that she won't get pregnant, and she's still insisting. Oh, isn't she the same person who said we would not have sex till we go out for at least 2 years? For all this time? Oh, and she still can't trust me enough? Ama, when I try to do something small, no, condom this, condom that. So handsome man like me, she probably thinks I have HIV.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner. Condoms are effective for protection against a wide spectrum of STIs and HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission. Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back to Citi Prime News. Now, the Wa Circuit Court has sentenced a 35-year-old man to 71 years in prison on 10 counts of defilement. The court, presided over by his Anna Jonathan Avaiblebo, made a decision after the accused, Ahmed Rashid, was found guilty of having sex with 7 minors, contrary to Section 101 of the Criminal Offences Act 29. Latif Mahama is our Upper West Regional Correspondent. He joins us over the phone lines. Good afternoon, Latif. What reasons did the judge give for handing him the sentence?
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to all our listeners. The Circuit Court Judge, His Honor Jonathan Avogu, after giving his verdict, said that he considered the fact that he was to reform the man in question and that he didn't intend to kill him. And so the total number of counts that were brought before the court this morning were 8 in number. The first docket contained 6 counts, the second one 3, and the last one contained just 1 count. And so the facts are that the accused person was arrested somewhere in May, around 25th, and he has been standing before the court facing charges of 18 counts of defilement involving some 5 dockets. And so 3 of the dockets, as I said, were brought in. The first docket contained 6 cases, the second 3, and the last one contained 1 case. If I may also take our listeners through the first count, which has 6, the first docket, which has 6 cases. The first count, the man was sentenced 8 years, while the remaining 5 counts, he was sentenced 7 years each. And so that is how it is for the first docket. The second docket also had 3 charges. The first charge had 7 years, the second charge 7 years, and the third charge also 7 years. The last one, however, which was also 7 years, he is to do that in hard labor. He is to serve 7 years with the last count in the Wa Central Prison with hard labor. But before that, he read the offences to the accused person in the person of Ahmed Rashid and asked him whether he wanted to plead for leniency. Of course, what the accused person said was that, yes, he wanted to beg the court to be lenient with him, and that apart from that, he didn't have anything to say. And so the judge slapped him with the 71 years involving the 10 counts of defilement here at the Wa Circuit Court.
Thank you very much for the details. But what was his modus operandi?
Well, in effect, it was just about correction, and so it was just that he was sentenced based on available evidence. The accused person actually did not plead guilty. But the judge said that per the evidence brought before the court, he took that the decision to slap him with the 71 years.
All right, thank you very much. That was Latif Mahama, our Upper West Regional Correspondent. Charles has other stories.
The West African Examination Council is urging the government to release funds to enable the timely release of Basic Education Certificate Examination and the West Africa Senior School Certification Examination results. WAEC has recently concluded the conduct of BECE and WASI, with the results of BECE expected to be released by close of October, but the organization currently lacks the funds to complete the processes. The head of public affairs at WAEC, John Kwabi, has been speaking to Citi News about the situation.
starting the process of marking. We have started all the preparatory works. Coordination is ongoing, and hopefully marking should begin on Monday. Now, we held a meeting with the minister last week, Monday, and he gave us the assurance that he was going to release some money to us. But as we speak, no money has hit our account yet. So certainly we will need some money to do the marking, but WAEC has not indicated that we are not going to do the marking. It's a process, and you have to start somewhere. So when we decide to wait until money hits the accounts, we may be running late. So we've started all the preliminary processes that will have to be carried out. But if no money is made available, this exercise may not be completed.
John Kapi is the head of public affairs at the West African Examination Council.
The Electoral Commission in the Eastern Region has started registering eligible voters who were in the queue at the close of the limited voter registration exercise yesterday. The exercise is currently underway in 18 district offices of the EC. As at close of the 21 days registration exercise, a total of 92,116 residents had been registered. Faith Amejeke heads the Electoral Commission in the Eastern Region, and she's been speaking to Citi News.
The nationwide limited voter registration started on the 12th of September to 2nd October 2023. In the Eastern Region, the exercise took place in all the 33 district offices. And our provisional figures as at 2nd October 2023 are as follows. We have total registered 92,116. We have male registered 48,358, and then female registered 43,758. Then those who supported their registration with Ghana card, 41,564. Those who supported their registration with passports, that is the Ghanaian passports, 184. And then the number of persons who registered through the guarantor system, that is those who registered with guarantors, 50,368 persons. Then the number of applicants challenged, we have 925. And then the number of persons with disability who registered, we had 174. With number of voters captured with trauma, 78, all totaling to 92,116. The exercise ended yesterday, but there were people in the queue, so the commission decided to roll them over to the 3rd of October, which is today. So some districts are concluding on the registration with applicants who couldn't go through successfully yesterday. And we hope that by the close of the day, all eligible applicants who are in our offices or have gone back to our offices would have been registered.
Madam Amejeke, however, added that the District Registration Review Committee has been sitting on 898 cases, challenge cases, and have so far disqualified 472 persons.
With the challenge cases, we have the committee known as District Registration Review Committee, who are sitting on the challenge cases. At the moment, we have, they have gone through a lot of cases, and then we have qualified, those that they have qualified through the process of the sitting are 472. And then those disqualified so far, 56 applicants. And then cases that are pending, 370. These are all provisional figures. At the end of the sitting, we will know the actual pending, the actual qualified, and the actual disqualified.
Faith Amejeke heads the Electoral Commission in the Eastern Region.
Now, the issue of Ghanaian youth seeking to leave the country in droves has become a topical issue in recent times. Many are said to be seeking greener pastures in Canada and other countries. In the following Citi News report, Christopher Kevin Asima explores this significant and concerning trend. His report is read by Emmanuel Opong.
Ghana, a vibrant country teeming with culture and dreams, is also witnessing a growing departure of citizens in search of better prospects overseas. On CNR today, we aim to uncover the driving forces behind this trend and amplify the voices of those who have been faced with a difficult decision to leave their homeland. The pursuit of better job opportunities, access to quality education, and improved standard of living are the primary factors propelling this migration. However, the story runs deeper than these surface motivations.
When it comes to managing the people's side and rallying the people around for an enhanced productivity as envisaged under the Labour Act is virtually non-existing. We are not a productive nation, as such. And so we need to work at it. And so what is clearly creating the upset, among people, especially the workforce, is because we are not paying people enough based on productivity. We are paying people for putting in appearance at the workplace.
The success stories of the diaspora inspire the aspirations of countless Ghanaians. Nevertheless, leaving one's homeland is far from simple. It exacts an emotional toll, tearing families apart and significantly impacting mental well-being. Individuals like Ernestina Ajo-Dika and her peers, who are poised to depart the country, assert they can no longer endure the current economic hardships. Angelina Kamo, having studied business administration at the university and securing a job as a security controller at G-Force, believes that there are no opportunities left for her here, prompting her to seek better prospects elsewhere.
The country is actually messed up because the rate of unemployment is very high. And then even those who are working, the money they are making is not really helping them out. I want to leave because I like soft life. I want soft life. Most people want soft lives. And I'm not getting the soft life here because the money I'm earning from my work is not really that much. And then, the country is messed up. So I like adventures too. So, going out there, getting all what I want and being adventurous is a plus. So I feel that it's a very good idea for me to actually go out of the country.
Despite the government's efforts to provide quality universal basic education for all, young Alfred Ashiti, a second-year student at the Presbyterian Senior High School, Teshi, states his readiness to pursue quality education, leading to a good job abroad to support his family back home.
My intentions to leave the country is to find greener pastures, go outside and then find jobs which will pay me well for me to further my education and also have a better life. Most people that I know who are related to me and some of my friends who have completed the universities are complaining that jobs are not available in the country. My mind is focused on living to, explore different countries and then make money and end a better living.
As the beacon of hope for a brighter future continues to burn, motivating determination to press forward, many share this perspective.
The economic conditions are not helping and our leaders are not having any intention of making things better. You would voice out, but it's like they turn a deaf ear to your plight. I don't know whether they are not seeing it, they don't know, or they don't know what is going on. So if the conditions in the country are not favoring a lot of us, especially we the graduates, you graduate and there are no jobs, even the limited jobs that are there, the pay or the salary is not encouraging. So you give out your all, you work so hard, and the money that comes out of it is so meager that you can't even give it to sort yourself out. It's very discouraging.
However, Labour Dispute Resolution expert Austin Game raises valid concerns about the looming threat of this brain drain. Foreseeing its potential impact on the country's development, he asserts that effectively addressing this issue necessitates a comprehensive approach, including improvement in education, substantial job creation, and the creation of a conducive growth environment.
I work for the nurses as their consultant, and I have high respect and regard for them, especially the president, the general secretary, and the council. They work very tirelessly protecting the interests of the people. I work for the lab people. I know their frustration. I work for the anestheticians. I know their frustration. And if they get a chance, maybe let me put it in context for you. If you like, you should bring 10 huge picking 2,000 passengers vessels to the port of Tema, everybody will join. In fact, I know you yourself will join and leave this country because of the economic condition in which we find ourselves. It does appear we have not yet begun how we should structure and manage this country. And everybody seeks to be claiming leadership. That's where our problem is.
Highlighting this urgent concern, it becomes evident that understanding the compelling factors driving Ghanaians to seek opportunities overseas is crucial for policymakers to make well-informed decisions. This done with the aspiration for a future where Ghanaians can thrive within their own country while making meaningful contributions to the global community.
Christopher Kevin Asima filed that report and read by Emmanuel Opon.
This is still Citi Prime News. Still ahead in this bulletin, we'll take you to the Ashanti region where police have prevented family members of 35-year-old businesswoman who was allegedly killed by her house help from assaulting the prime suspect. Please stay with us. We'll return shortly.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
There's no price like the ShopRite price. That's why we are committed to bringing you lower prices on all the essentials you need. Like 125 grams Abina sardine in vegetable oil, only 8 cedis, 99 pence worth. And 340 grams Lele corned beef, just 44 cedis, 99 pence worth. Never pay more than the ShopRite price. Prices valid until 8th October, only at ShopRite.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Throughout all life-changing moments such as graduations, weddings, funerals, birthdays, ATL is there to ensure you're never out of style. When you think fabric, think ATL. Log on to atlfabrics.com. Order and buy your favorite ATL fabric. You can also visit our shop at number 40 Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, opposite the Swansea Shopping Arcade at Accra Central. Also available in leading fabric dealer shops in Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Let's now move to the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, where the swift intervention of police officers prevented family members of a 35-year-old businesswoman who was allegedly killed by her house help at Sokobang, a suburb in Kumasi, from physically assaulting the prime suspect and an alleged accomplice. The aggrieved family members pelted stones at the police vehicle that was carrying the suspects away. Fatih Aminu Ibrahim is our correspondent in the Ashanti region. She joins us over the phone lines. Good afternoon, Fatih. Did this incident happen before the suspects came, when they arrived in court, or after proceedings?
Okay, good afternoon. This actually happened after proceedings. And usually what happens is that after the court proceedings, because of how agitated the family members are, the police usually wait for some time before bringing out the suspect. But today, after just a few minutes after the court proceedings, the police decided to bring out the suspect and then carry them away. But unfortunately for them, the agitated family members rushed towards the police vehicle and the police as well. They wanted to get hold of the suspect and then attack them. They were very angry. They were furious, but for the swift intervention of the police officers who ensured that they had to maintain calm and then try speaking to some of the family members so that there won't be any chaos. In fact, there was a little bit of chaos because there were lots of them around. Most of the family members right towards the police vehicle because they really meant business. They wanted to really get hold of the suspect, the prime suspect, John Alistair in particular. They really wanted to attack him today, but the police actually intervened to ensure that the family members do not get to the suspect so that there won't be any form of bloodshed this morning. Sorry.
Okay, so let's go to the substantive issue. What happened in court?
For today, when the case was called, the prosecutor actually prayed the court to said and for the second time remand the suspect into custody as they want to continue with investigations before they present whatever they have to the Attorney General's office. So that was what happened. And also the prosecution also told the court that the autopsy report was out and it actually showed that the deceased, Ahenka, actually died an unnatural death as she was hit and stabbed by the prime suspect.
All right, thank you very much.
The court actually granted the plea of the prosecution and decided to remand the suspect into police custody.
Fatih Aminu Ibrahim is our Shanti Regional correspondent, bringing us an update on that case where a 35-year-old businesswoman was allegedly killed by her house help. We'll move to other stories now.
The Accra Regional Director of Education, Stephen Abanfo, has called on school children in the region to take their education seriously. The call was made during a tour of some schools in Accra by the Chief Director of Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, together with some other stakeholders. The visit was part of the My First Day at School initiative by the government to encourage students. The Chief Director in the company of the Municipal Chief Executive for Ablekuma North and the Accra Regional Director of Education presented some items to the students. Stephen Abanfo spoke to Citi News.
Normally, when schools actually open, we actually go around with the Regional Coordinating Council and then the Bureau's Municipal Chief Executives to actually welcome the students first day in that particular school. When we also go like this one, because we want retention, we'll try to give them gifts, some of which include pencil, eraser, sharpener, calico, biscuits, toffee, and all those things. You know, when the students see it in that way, they say, hey, school. Hey, that's it. So, even my first day, then I will never stop attending school. That is why we go there and then try to welcome them in good faith, so that they will actually have very interest in the various schools. Today, we went to a place of peace. We saw the number there, about 60. We came here, about 45. We realized that my first day, the students have actually come over to the appreciation of the teachers and the videos who actually went on.
You heard the Greater Accra Regional Director for Education, Stephen Abanfo. Now, members of the Health Service Workers Union are increasingly worried and have reiterated a call for government to release funds for the payment of their Tier 2 pensions to safeguard their interest. According to them, the delay in releasing their Tier 2 contributions to fund managers will have adverse effects on their pensions since the amount cannot be invested early enough to yield proceeds for them. John Parteri is the Industrial Relations Officer of Health Service Workers Union.
We are having that challenges of the payment of our Tier 2 not reaching the fund managers as it's supposed to be. At least when it's taken in a month, by the following month, probably it should reach the fund managers so that they can invest it. For example, if I make a contribution of, let's say, 50 cedis today, and it's not being invested for a whole year, of course, if the following year I'm going on retirement, it means that 50 cedis has not yielded any profit, and therefore I'll be going with my principal money, which is 50 cedis. But that is not the essence of the Tier 2. The Tier 2 is said that when the monies are paid, it should be invested. And so when the person is going on retirement, he will take the money he has contributed plus interest. That is what will make the person comfortable. But for now, as we are seeing, the arrears that has not been paid, if it doesn't go to the fund managers early, then means that we will be losing a lot of interest on that money. And that is what the union is trying to bring the government to their attention in order for them to begin to haste the payments.
John Parteri also urged the government to, as a matter of urgency, ensure the payment of agreed allowances in their collective agreement.
Apart from the pension scheme issue that we've also raised payment of agreed allowances in our collective agreement. We have agreement with the Ministry of Health and all its agencies. Some facilities are paying and are complying with the collective agreement. Some too are partially complying with the collective agreement. We first of all have to thank those hospital facilities that are paying or that are doing their best to pay. But those that are not doing, we are urging them that they should do well to abide by the collective agreement. And we want the government to ensure that all these agencies are abiding by the collective agreement and the MOU which we have signed with them, so that the members will also enjoy the fruit of their labor. We don't wait when they are on retirement before we begin to implement, but then they will be out and they may not enjoy it.
John Pateri is the Industrial Relations Officer of Health Service Workers Union.
The Private Health Facilities Association of Ghana is urging the government and the National Health Insurance Authority to make upward adjustments for medicines and services covered by the National Health Insurance Scheme. The association contends that the recent increase in the prices of medicines and related items is having a detrimental impact on the operation of its members. The vice president of the group, Samuel Donko, in a Citi News interview, called for more focus to address the issue.
NHI is right now forming a committee to review the tariffs again. And we will be happy if they should add all stakeholders. They don't go to one corner and then do it and bring it to us. No, we will be happy if all of us are involved. And again, we will be happy when we sit down with the pharmaceutical companies before even the review of the tariff, because anytime NHI increases the tariff, they also increase the price. So we come back to square zero. We come back to causing the job done. So I think government should meet them and then maybe caution them and maybe sign an undertaking that we are going to do this increment, but you are not supposed to increase again. So that these stockpiles and this co-payment and pricing thing will stop. But we want government to bring some strict measures on this medical supplies, the drugs and this stuff. Because honestly, what they are doing to the providers is really unfair. They keep increasing and we don't know what to do.
Mr. Donko has also called for dialogue to have NHIs cover dialysis costs.
That's why we are going to have a holistic tariff and price for the whole thing. And when we are looking at it, you look at it from the point of view of payments too. So you don't just look at it as do you have the means to add it to it? Do you have the means to provide it or what? No, for that one, if you do that alone, you fail. We have the machines. If you come to some of our facilities, there are dialysis machines all over, but people will have to pay.
Samuel Donko is vice president of the Private Health Facilities Association of Ghana.
Now, artisans at the Art Center in Accra, a popular shopping destination for tourists, have reported an increase in sales after experiencing reduced patronage during the COVID-19 pandemic. These artisans have urged the government to invest in their industry, highlighting its contribution to economic growth. Citi News' reporter Emmanuel Opong explores the wood, arts and craft sector in this report.
Wood carving predates ancient Ghana. Ghanaian wood carvers produce endless varieties of fingerings and plates for tourist trade or export to other countries. Behind these crafts are inspirations and intriguing cultural connotations. Carved wood items include drums, mugs, stools, and many more. The wood arts and crafts industry undoubtedly employs several people in the value chain, from carvers, painters, and traders whose very livelihood depend on this art. But just like any other industry, the wood arts and crafts sector has its own challenges, including difficulty in accessing raw materials, access to trade finance, and low patronage from locals due to superstitious beliefs. A visit by Citi News to the Art Center in Accra confirms that sales on the average was picking up after recording low sales following the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic.
It takes time to make money. Sometimes we do sell, finish that money before we sell again. But when you are lucky, maybe you get a customer that will say he's buying 20-footer or 40-footer container, then that's your luck. You also hit. It's normal. We sometimes sell, when you come, you sometimes sell, sometimes you don't get. But we have been used to it, so we don't care whether you sell or not. So let's say it's cool. Business is cool now. Some of them used to come and buy them, then they go and break it that there's this in juju in it. We don't see any juju in it. Let them learn more about art and know what is good about art.
I've been in this business 20 years now. And the challenges, one is that we went to, BA, and take the raw materials. Before you get the raw material, you have to go to forestry office for a permit, and it will take you a time before they will give you the permit. The papers that they have to give is early, so that we will start the work. It will take a lot of time before.
The vice chairman of the Craft Center appealed to government to offer trade finance for the artisans to scale up their activities.
Government is doing its part, but as we know, all the SMEs, the small-scale enterprises, need a kind of support from the government. And if you agree with me, most of the small-scale industries don't need so much. But then the government has taken its, focus from the SME to the medium-scale enterprise, which are like having a kind of companies, and most of them are also financially sound when it comes to business. But the small-scale industry, we are the people who need attention and support, because we also contribute to the economy, because when it comes to foreign exchange and what have you.
Citi News interacted with some patrons who had come to buy some of the craft, and they shared their fascinations with us.
Well, I'm an African, and art is African, isn't it? And not only is it something good to look at, it has many, many uses. So I've just been to that stall down there, and the art is just high class. It's just amazing. It's from Benin, and it just blows you away. So I'm just saying that in this place, the level of art is so high, it's just amazing. So I'm here to buy a wari because it's a game, and also it's a work of art. I mean, how can you come to Africa and not come to the art centre? You have to. So definitely, yes, I would encourage other people to come and spend money and to just meet the artists, because one of the things with the artists here, they're full of humanity, they're full of love. It's not just a place where they try and get your money, They try and interact in a cultural manner that is very nice.
I love aspects of the people. I love nature, and I love wood and carvings and beads. So I absolutely love the art centre. Yeah, I bought a table. It's a fold-up table. I paid 130 cedis for the fold-up table. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm just fascinated by the artisans, how excellent and amazing and brilliant they are. I really don't think that their things cost a lot. In another country, if you was an artisan of the quality that these artisans are, it would be a lot more. I would love to see people just buying a lot more of the artisans' work. I mean, I said to my friend, I could buy the whole of the shop.
Meanwhile, an interaction with some artisans and patrons at the Accra Arts Centre revealed that they were disturbed of news of attempt to relocate the artisans. Speaking on condition of anonymity, they suggested that the artisans could be incorporated into the intended project with better management and supervision.
Artisans here at the Accra Arts Centre have refuted claims that these artists are infiltrated with spiritism. They are thus urging the general public to patronize their wares. Reporting for Citi News, I am Emmanuel Opon.
And that's it for Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. For more news, log on to citinewsroom.com. My name is Zoe Abube-Eduardo, and I was here with
Charles Owuzukumi.
Please stay tuned for the afternoon's edition of Citi Business News.
Citi 97.3.